begin with that second chair, okay? So I'm gonna take that second chair and I'm gonna face it, all right? And sitting up first on that first chair, nice and tall. I'm gonna start in a bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana, okay? So I'm gonna lift one leg up and the other one up and begin to feel my hips already opening here. My knees are out, my hips are open. Some of you will have your legs quite extended, and that's okay. Just so you start to feel a little bit of opening in the hip, a little bit of opening in the knee. Your toes may be out, your heels might be together, or you may be, let's see, here comes Lydia. Let her in. Or you might be with that chair really close to you. All right, I want to make sure you guys know that there's all those in-betweens, right? And all of our bodies are really different. So you're sitting kind of on the edge of your chair so that you're not leaning back, and we're able to maintain that nice straight spine. And how are we doing that? That's with this core strength of ours. So you can take your maybe soles of your feet together if you get to that point. And by doing that, you're going to stretch and open up the top part of your ankle, okay? So my feet come together, I'm feeling that opening. I let them release and come into maybe a flexed position. Looks kind of like a frog. And then I'm gonna go ahead and let my feet come together and press them together, open them up, take them in. So what we're doing is just coming into our calf a bit, coming into the ankle mobility some, all right? So hopefully this is making sense with my hands, kind of showing you what our feet are doing, flexing. And that's kind of like a pointing then. Let's do two more, flexing and pointing. All the while we're trying to maintain that straight spine. Feeling that again, warming up in the core area. So then take your feet however you like, either in the more sole together pointed, or you can flex them or just leave them in a relaxed form. We're going to sit up on those sits bones in that first chair. And then I'm going to just have my hands on my knees. And I'm going to take some circles here. Just feel the flow of my torso, okay? Let it feel really light here as we direct our energy in one direction. And you know, you might just think, did I start clockwise? Did I start counterclockwise? Can I get a little bit more back and forth movement? I get a little more left and right movement. How's my breath taking this? We didn't really start with talking about breath, but just kind of attend to it now. And let's reverse that, coming back around. And since we have our legs in this position, you probably should be, at least I am, feeling it in my glutes as well, especially when I move myself forward, feeling it in my core when I move myself back, feeling it in my obliques when I move left and right. A couple more circles here. Breathing. And then coming up to sit straight and tall and proud. So this position is called Baddha Konasana pose, okay, or bound angle pose, sometimes called cobbler's pose as well because of the soles of the feet coming together. And again, extend it out, or maybe you're bringing it in and those knees come outward, okay? But sitting up straight, we're gonna go into a twist in this position. So we're still gonna try to hold in at that core to keep us nice and strong. But take my right hand behind me, push down into the chair. Notice how my crown lifts up a little bit more when I do that. I'm going to take my left hand to my right knee, and I'm just going to look over and behind me here. And I'm not sure, I think the knees might be on the floor, but you can go to the floor at any time if you like, and you don't need the two chairs then. And then we're going to come back around. Facing forward, straight spine. I'm going to take my left hand behind me, push down into the chair or floor, and lift up through my heart and let myself come on back around, looking over my left shoulder, feeling that in my waist. And slowly releasing and coming back forward. We're going to come back to that twist. But before we do, we're just going to slide our hands down our shins. See how far they go. Maybe they go to our toes, keeping a straight spine, right? See what's happening here. I'm going to just hold in this position. My back is at an angle, and it's as straight as I can make it. I'm looking down at my beautiful toes, and just taking a few breaths here, and feeling that in the spine, lengthening that spine as you kind of let your crown come outward and you let your sits bones come into that chair a little bit more. And then inhale, bring yourself on back onto your knees, and let's take that twist again. So pushing down with one hand behind you, lifting up through your heart and taking a look back and around. All these twists are so good for our digestive system. And where disease so often starts is in our digestive system. That dis-ease, right? That uneasiness with something. And go ahead and bring yourself forward. That funny feeling that we get in our bellies, that gut feeling. Take your hand back behind you. Make your spine straight. Come back around. So taking these twists, we are squeezing those organs. We're helping them to release their toxins, letting go of those things that no longer serve us, getting rid of the caca in our lives. Coming back around, sitting up straight and tall. This time, take that flow. Come down to toes or ankle. Let your head come down, release chin to chest. Then bring yourself up to your knees. Hold on there. Get some leverage and let your heart rise up. Look up. Come back to straight spine. Slide on down. Exhale. Slide on up. Hold on. Inhale. So here we're doing cat and cow. Inbound angle. So many of our asanas, keep flowing here. We can combine starting in one base position and adding in the others. Do 2 more sets, please. Just seeing where your spine is taking you. And that spine includes the cervical spine. Breathing, taking that breath in and out of your nose. And then bringing ourselves upright here. Let's let our right leg stay on that chair and let the left foot come down. If you're on the ground, then just keep one leg bent and the other one, we're going to extend it, that left leg. If you're on the ground, it's going to come out straight to the side, kind of at an angle. If you're seated in the chair, it's just going to come down at an angle as well. I'm going to try to flatten out my foot on the ground so that I feel that, again, in my ankle, right? So I'm pressing down with my foot, sole of the foot, opening up that ankle. As I continue pressing down there, I'm going to feel that strengthening up all through my leg and feel very firm there. All right. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and shift our body weight towards that bent knee, bent leg, and just come down as far as our body will allow. Shoulders reaching downward, chest reaching towards the inner part of that right thigh. Coming down as far as it feels comfortable. You can release your arms down if you want. You can then release your forehead to your knee and hang here if you come that far. If not, you can build up one fist on top of the other, on top of the side of your knee there and place your forehead there. But I want you guys to just let this hanging happen one way or the other. Finding your breath, and even though I know you're breathing into the belly with it being constricted there, continue pressing your sole of your foot down on that left extended leg and foot. And then bringing yourself up, coming up ragdoll status here. Chin stays at the chest. Continue to rise up. And then I'm going to place my forearm on that inner thigh, okay, the leg that's up on the chair, and let my hand come down the inside of my leg. Lift my left arm up, again pressing down into my left foot, and let my body come over to the right, coming into half moon. So here we are again, kind of, doubling up on poses. So we've got a leg lengthener, back of the leg lengthening. We have a hip opener. We have a side opener, side contractor. So much going on here just by intermixing one pose with another. And then lifting my arm up, letting it come down. Let it slide down that left extended leg. And let it go anywhere but not pressing on top of the kneecap, okay? So either above or below the kneecap, slide on down that leg, lift the other arm up. And feel that opening, fingers reaching towards the sky. Feel that again in those beautiful waistlines. If you want, you can take that extended arm over where your bicep comes by your ear. You may feel that a little more intensely in that stretch. You may not want to, okay? Find out what works for you. Lifting that arm up, lifting the body up, sliding up, letting my hand come down, sitting just straight before we switch that out a bit. Taking a couple breaths. And let's bring that left leg, bend into it and place it back on the chair, or bend it in if you're on the ground. And that other leg then comes on outward if you're sitting on the ground, stretching out or down onto the floor. And we're pressing into the sole of the foot, opening up that heel there. Okay, you guys can see that. And I'm going to sit up straight and tall here. And just feel what that's like to be in this position here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my body towards that left thigh and begin to let myself come down here. And again, letting my head release, maybe forehead to my knee, or stacking those fists up so that my head can rest on something. And letting myself come over in that direction. Press down more firmly into that straight leg and foot. It's grounded. Let my arms rest and relax down as well. Shoulders really letting go. Really constricted breath here. I know throat is tight, belly is tight. And then slowly coming up, like a ragdoll here. And taking yourself forward and sliding down, letting your head come with it forward here. Bring yourself back up, inhale. Let's exhale, come on down. Bring yourself up forward. One more time, exhale down. Bringing yourself up. And sliding my right hand down my right leg. And I know I'm doing things in a different order this time. And the left arm comes up. I might even have skipped something. I'm going to see if I can reinvent that. Left arm climbs up, fingers reaching towards the sky. Letting your right hand slide down, that right leg anywhere. It can be on your knee, just don't press down on your kneecap, okay? And then I'm going to take my left arm and let it extend over, bicep by my ear. Rising up on that side. Bending into my left arm and placing that left forearm on my thigh, hand down my side of my shin. Right arm comes up. Let me take it on over here. Stretch here. Press down into that extended foot and leg. Inhale, rising on up. Exhale, hand comes down. Slowly bringing that hand down. Taking that right foot back up on the chair. Let's extend that chair long and let our legs be long so that now both of them are straight and forward. I'm going to flex, and I'm going to point and flex and point. I want you to look down and notice, if you can't see, because of whatever you're wearing, you should be able to feel the action of your gastrocnemius, that calf coming in and out, pressing in and out onto your chair. And then find yourself, if you can, with flexed feet. And we're sitting up straight and tall, utilizing what we have here in our core. And if this is a lot, you can always start to lean back. You can always lean all the way back into your chair. Okay, you guys do what you want. Also, if it's a lot, to keep your feet flexed. But right now, this is our Dandasana pose or our staff pose, right? Again, you can be doing this on the ground. You can be doing it with the two chairs. Let's lift our arms up. Inhale. And let's exhale. I'm going to reach one hand over to my right leg, somewhere, wherever it goes to. Let my other hand come behind me. I'm going to push down, and I'm going to come into another twist. This time my legs are straight, and I'm going to clean and clear those organs of my digestive system. Again. And then exhale out of the twist. Inhale, arms lift. Bringing my fingers way high, opening up the rib area. And then taking my right hand somewhere towards my left leg. Left hand behind me, push down, come into that twist. And then bringing myself back forward here. Now I'm going to point through my toes. Open up again that top of my ankles. And then I'm going to slide down. Reaching towards my toes, may not go there, may go to knees, but just come to where your back can be flat. Okay, long and straight. Always want to work on a straight spine when we can. There'll be times, obviously, where we want to bend that, and we do that a lot too. But right now, we'd like to stay straight with the spine, and then bring yourself back upwards. Flex into the feet. Exhale, push through the toes, come forward. Inhale, bring yourself back. Flex through those feet. A few more times here, your breath, okay? This is your exhale. Inhale through the nose. Finding yourself, maybe with a little more openness. Not from any forcing, right? just from releasing, letting go. One more time. Getting into this meditative movement. It's repetitive movement here. And then sitting back nice and straight and tall. Raise your arms up. Take a hold of your left wrist. Push through your hands. And let's take a side stretch. Over to the right. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, hands down. Point through your toes now. Inhale, lift. Left hand to right wrist. And come over to the right. Lifting up. Exhale to the other side. Lift on up. Exhale, hands come down. Let's go ahead and take our feet off that chair, but keep it close. Bring it in so that our legs are on the side of the chair, okay? So you can kind of have them meet seat to seat, sort of, okay? And I'm gonna just kind of press down evenly with my feet, opening up my hips and knees as much as my groin area is going to allow me to do. I'm going to still stay nice and straight here. Knees are outward, knees above the ankles, and then the feet coming out in an angle from there. And I'm just going to sit nice and straight and tall. I'm going to press into the front part of that second chair. That pressing down with my arms, I'm going to also press through my feet. So I'm going to engage everything I have. If you need, you can come onto the fingertips, find where you're able to get that most out of your embrace of your hands on the chair and your feet on the ground. This is isometric. This looks like we're doing nothing, but my legs are starting to shake. My core is starting to feel this. I'm pressing down a little bit harder with my hands into the chair. And exhale, whew, release. And let's do a little bit of movement with our spine now, not necessarily being straight, okay? So I'm gonna come forward, really lean forward, bend into my elbows. Lean so that my forehead almost comes to the back of that other chair, okay? And then I'm gonna scoop. I'm gonna scoop up, rounding into that lower lumbar area, feeling that here, scooping up to a straight spine. And I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to scoop forward, slowly extending so my forehead comes almost to the top or close to the back of that chair. And then take myself back up straight. Come forward, straight spine. Scooping up, reaching like a goose, okay, through my neck, coming up and down slowly. Find core work here. Scoop and then let your head come cervical spine in alignment with the rest of your spine. And take yourself on up. Inhale. Now we're going to scoop in two directions. So we're first going to pull in here, really tight. Hold on to your knees. Pull in with the strength of your biceps here. And then bring yourself forward and scoop again. Bring yourself up, heart up, scooped back, come forward. As you reach your head towards the back of the chair, take that scoop in the opposite direction. Take yourself back, bring yourself forward and scoop. What we're doing here is just an extended cat-cow with open legs. So just continue, use your breath, right? I scoop up, I'm inhaling. I scoop down and forward. Exhale. Feeling this, at least I am. And my hips as well. One more scoop, please. Forward, up, and down, and back. Whew. And then let's just sit. Still we have our legs wide as that second chair. I'm going to take my hands on the chair. I'm going to lift up onto the balls of my feet. And from here, I'm also going to lift my sits bone of my right foot up, place it down. Come over to the right side of my body, lift my left sits bone up, really press down into the balls of my feet. Come back to the center. Come over to the side, push down, lift up, and place myself back down. A couple more times. Noticing where you are in total balance of your weight. Okay, and before you shift it over in one direction. Yoga is really good for body awareness, right? Coming into the mechanics of our body and how we move and how one thing affects the other. And then go ahead and place your heels down. And we're going to take our weight forward, bend into your elbows, and then just lift yourself out of your chair. Okay, flat spine, tailbone back, crown reaching forward, straight long legs. And slowly come down into the chair. Sitting up and bringing yourself forward and lifting. Inhale. And taking yourself slowly down. Exhale back. Just getting in and out of a chair. Go ahead and lift up. Uses a lot of muscles in our body. Getting in and off the floor. Uses a lot of almost all the muscles in our body. Lift up here. Let's do 2 more. And just a little bit of leg lengthening here. Arms supporting us in our weight forward. And maintaining that connection with breath and movement. And then coming back down here, I'm going to extend that chair out a little bit farther now. And we're going to take our feet forward so that we're about hips distance here. And we're going to keep our hands on that other chair, okay? And my back is straight. I'm going to lean forward. So that means my fingers might reach forward more onto the seat of that other chair. Maybe I hold on to the sides. And I'm just going to lift myself up out of the chair. Raise my arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Take my hands back to that second chair. Slowly take myself back into the first chair. Make sure it's there. Let's do that 2 more times. We're doing this slow because while we do it slow, we're really activating those muscles in our legs. Our arms reach up and we come on down. Holding onto that chair for balance. Finding it also helps with us creeping in slowly into sitting down rather than plopping. Okay. Inhale, lift. And maybe today, just when you're sitting and standing, you can notice how you come into that chair. If we're plopping down or if we're taking it nice and slow. And then just bring yourself up. And now I'm going to take that chair to the side and take my body towards you more and extend that leg out onto the chair, all right? So I'm opening up here, foot flat, the other leg is extended out, and find where that is for you, okay? We might, not be very far apart. Find out where that is, but taking that right leg bent, as far to the right as possible, and the other one extending it out to the left, to whatever that is for you, okay? And we're gonna sit up straight and tall here, and noticing again what's going on with our body, right? One side lengthening, the other side opening here. We're gonna open up with our arms, inhale. Take them just through the center of our heart here, exhale. Inhale, rising up. Opening up like a flower, slowly blooming. And with this weather, who knows when those early bird flowers are going to start to open up. And I know we can still have some frost ahead of us. And that worries me, especially with our fruit trees. It's February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. So a lot of our attention today can be earth-centered, right? Into the ground, like those little animalitos that I don't know exactly how that history started. I can Google it, but I don't know if I'm that interested in finding out. Exhale, hands come down. Let's do that. One more set, inhale. Are you following your breath here? Are you making this a little meditative flow? As our body is in a position where it's doing its thing too, as we do our little meditative flow with the upper body, the lower body is lengthening and opening, okay? And then I'm gonna slowly take that leg down. I'm gonna just sit centered before I switch sides here. Sit centered with my feet apart, heels in, toes out. And I'm just going to take a few slides to the side, bringing elbow up on one side, lifting, lengthening down, opening up. Take it with your breath. If you close your eyes here, I'll let you know when we switch. You can really get into that meditative movement with your breath a little bit more, knowing that all of us might be at a little different rhythm and speed. Moving and breathing to the breath of our own drum, to the beat of our own hearts. Sometimes when you don't hear me, which isn't very often, because I keep on yak, 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 is because I stop so that I can really feel my movement and breath as well. It's hard to do when I'm talking. One more, please. Good. And again, I know we have that other side to do, but let's do one more thing, which will add a twist with these open hips, open legs. I'm going to take and hold on to my knees, let my left shoulder come in, bend into my left elbow, okay? And look over that, over my right shoulder. So I'm just kind of letting that left side of me cave in and forward while the other side pulls back. And then bringing myself upright. Big inhale. Exhale will take me into this other movement here. Really feeling that in my waist here. Inhaling, lifting up. Oh, exhale. Now I'm going to take my chin to the other side. And I'm going to let my left side now open up, my knee and ankle, everything in alignment there. My other leg comes up on the chair. And I want to sit on my sits bones here. So you might need to rearrange yourself a little bit and feel like you're really connected here. And sitting up straight and tall here. First, just finding and feeling what's happening to your body with this position. Foot is flexed or pointed on that right side, or you can relax it a bit. I'm going to turn my body in that direction. I'm going to walk on down that leg. I'm going to let my head release. And breathe into the lengthening that's happening here in the back of my neck, in the back of the leg. And then breathing myself up, walking myself up here, finding myself forward. I'm going to slide down the inside of that right leg to wherever my hand wants to go. My left arm comes up, fingers reaching towards the sky. And then maybe taking that arm over, bicep by my ear. Feeling again that lengthening that's happening so nicely in that side leg. Reaching, stretching, breathing. And inhale, lifting up. Exhale. Hand comes down. I'm going to take my left hand to my right knee, right hand behind me, sit up straight and tall, and take a twist. So we're doing a little different things with the upper part of our body, but the lower part is remaining and having that same kind of positioning, right? With one leg lengthening the other, hip opening, getting a twist in again for the digestive organs. And then bringing yourself back to the center. Let's see if we can twist in the opposite direction. Taking my hand across my body, left hand comes behind me. And think about that twist there. And then reaching back forward here. I'm going to take my forearm onto my left thigh. I'm going to take my right arm up straight, and I'm going to bring it over. One more time here into this extended side angle. If you like, your left hand can come down the inside of that left foot. And a perfect, wonderful place for a block. I really like that. I really feel like I can get more of a side stretch when I've got that block handy. And then reaching up, just checking in with my lower part of my body, maybe just doing a few little side to side, looking over right shoulder, looking over left shoulder, keeping a strong core, keeping my spine nice and long. And then coming back to center, I'm gonna let my right leg come down, oh yeah. And finish with that second chair. I'm gonna bring my legs for the first time forward so I can sit in our mountain pose, which is generally where we start in Tadasana here. So we've done a lot of hip opening. Let's realign them moving forward, okay? So hips, knees, ankles, toes, okay? And that good anatomical measure that's often used are those two fists between your knees to find that hips distance. Just sitting up again, straight and tall here. Let's work on our arms a bit. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, left hand comes to right shoulder, right hand to left elbow. And let's take ourselves over, opening up. Trying to maintain weight in that left foot as I'm moving over to the right, left sits bone. So in other words, I want to have my body weight still evenly expressed. Bring myself up, inhale. Exhale, so that I'm really taking that weight from the waist up rather than that whole body pulling over to the side. Inhale, lift, and release, open. And then exhale, reversing, this time right hand on left shoulder, left hand on right elbow. think that's the opposite. And come on over to one side. You guys stay true to what it's supposed to be. Inhale, lift. Exhale, over. Rising up, both arms lift. And let's take wrists rotations as we slowly find our way coming down. And in those rotations, take it real slow and take your fingers as part of that too. When you get to the shoulder height, and reverse, and go in that opposite direction, okay? Continue taking it down slowly, getting into the fingers, making some fists maybe there, taking it on down. And letting your hands just release down, still maintaining a straight spine, shoulders away from your ears. Couple few breaths here, please. We've done a lot of forward folding, so let's work into opening up through our chest and our heart, okay? So I'm going to work into camel pose. Flat hands, the base of my palm, right at my waist there. Top of my hips, pushing down as I pull back with my shoulders and my elbows. And just staying right there is really good. You feel your hands engaged and connecting to your hips. You can also begin to let your heart come a little more forward and curve into that lower spine if you like. Taking a look up. Being our own expressive camel here. However big you want to release your heart, you can. But what it's giving us is that opposite effect of those forward folds. And then bringing ourselves back. Exhale, hands come down. So those forward folds are considered straight when we come down or when we were going down over the side of our legs, okay, anything like that. We want to try to balance that out with the chest openers, the heart openers. So now let's go ahead and interlace fingers right at the base of your spine. I'm going to push down there and squeeze again. All right, so here we're getting more shoulder engagement. Your hands can lift up as much as your shoulders allow. You can stay with that straight spine. Or again, you can go ahead and puff out your chest and let your lumbar spine open up a bit here as you look up. Expressing yourself, squeezing those shoulder blades together. And then coming back up, inhale. Releasing your hands, bring them up to shoulder height and hug yourself. One arm is on top, really hug. Pull down those shoulders as you're hugging, hug into self. Open up and express. And opposite arm on top. Come into hug, pull those shoulders down. Squeeze into yourself. Heart to heart hugging here. Release, arms open. And exhale, hands come down. Let's do one set of warrior two. And so I'm going to turn to the side. Leg is over one edge. And you can use that block right here. Okay. Or you can extend all the way back, or you can come out of your chair if you'd like. And sometimes I like to do that. I like to get into my warrior two stance, okay, standing, and then bring the chair. And that lets me come down a little bit lower into my warrior two. So find whatever works for you. That front knee is bent at about a 90-degree angle. Right over that ankle, that back foot is straight and out, or you can bend it onto that block if that feels a little better for you. In warrior two, our arms are out like this, shoulder height, okay? And I'm pressing into everything that I'm connected to in terms of my body, my feet, into the chair. I'm looking solidly over that front arm, feeling my fingers open up wider if I want more expression into those arms. Feeling really strong here and powerful, very grounded. I'm going to come and do my reverse warrior. My right arm comes up as my left comes down that back leg or wraps around my back. And I lift my fingers up, looking up, taking some of those 3-part yogic breaths. Belly, ribs, chest. Inhale, chest, ribs, belly, exhale. And then bringing myself back into that expression, full expression of warrior two, still gazing over that front arm. And I'm going to bend into my front elbow, place it on my thigh, lift my left arm up, stretching, pushing down into either my knee on that block or on that back foot to really ground myself more. As my fingers lift up higher when I do that, grounding into the chair, into the ground. And then I take my hand over and I find myself extended side angle here. Rising up with my hand. Coming back into warrior two. Warrior two is another place where we can find a lot of different extended poses from here. I'm going to let my hands come down. I'm going to let my legs come back forward. Find myself in the mountain for a breath or two before I go over to make that transition to the other side. Transition to the other side. Sometimes people say that when they're talking about people going, dying. We're not doing that, okay? We're just transitioning from right to left. So let's go on over to our left side and have my left knee bent, my left foot and heel, ankle lined up with my left knee. And that right shin on the block. Or again, I go ahead and I practice maybe standing in that warrior two foundation and then take the chair underneath me and feel myself being able to lower into it a little more strength. It's a really good tool to give me that kind of feedback, okay? If I can get a little bit lower, I'm gonna also put that energy into that extended leg or down into the block. The block is what I'm using. My arms extend out nice and long at my shoulder height, okay? Fingers outward, gaze over towards the left now, over to that more feminine side of us. Right is our masculine side, left is our feminine side. Always trying to balance out those dualities. And our yoga practice can help us do that. Let's go into reverse warrior two. So that back hand comes down, that back leg, or come around your waist, and then lifting up, looking up. Coming back as your body allows. Finding your breath. Rediscovering it if you lost it. And then find yourself in your warrior two. Nicely open. Feel your heart opening here. Feel your chest opening. Pulling yourself forward, bend into your left elbow, forearm on your thigh, rising up high here. And again, just as we did earlier, when we were in a different position, we opened up and let that left arm come down onto a block. You can certainly do that here as well, especially if you did it on the other side. Lengthening and then bringing over your right bicep by your right ear. Lengthen that whole side body. Right arm comes straight up and bringing myself back. Call this windmilling back up into warrior two. Find that expression. Be strong in that. 2 more breaths here. Exhale your hands down. And releasing the leg strength that took to stay in warrior two. Takes core strength, takes leg strength, takes arm strength, takes everything you have to maintain that good, strong asana called Virabhadrasana 2, warrior two. There's 3 warriors generally. There's warrior one, where you're standing on one leg, the other one is behind you, your arms are here, and it's a real balance pose for that one. There's the warrior one that we practice a lot together, where our arms are up this way, okay? So we're facing our fears, more or less. We're facing our challenges in life. Warrior two, we're looking straight ahead and we're moving forward with our lives. So there's lots of symbolism that can come with those as well. Let's do a few cat-cows here at the end, a little bit more in a normal way, holding on to my knees, letting my body come forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, curl and tuck and round. That might feel really, really good. If you want to hang out there, you can. You can continue in a flowing motion, dynamically moving. I'm making it more static and holding, not holding breath, but holding the pose. Please choose which feels good for you. I love it when I'm teaching in a class, when I used to teach in a class where there'd be an actual group of people that were there and I could see them. And people would sometimes just start doing, their own thing. And it's like, yay, good. People know what their bodies are asking for right then, right there, right? Our bodies know. And that's who we should listen to. Let's do 2 more. Seems like a long time ago now. We were meeting in the same room. Come on up. We were meeting in the same room, sort of, here, right, in our Zoom. And in a way, it's also really been able to help us open up to one another in sometimes a deeper way. At the end of the other classes, those of you that had come to them, sometimes we go and we talk, a couple people talking together. Here is when someone shares, we're all able to hear and listen. And so please feel free to do that when you're comfortable and when you want and when you need, right? Sometimes we need that kind of expressing and maybe not wanting anything said, or maybe wanting a little bit of support or advice, So thanks for being here for everybody in terms of that. And let's sit quietly in mountain pose for just about a minute and just find your breath. And once you find it, attend to it. And once you attend to your breath, and maybe you want to tend it. 2 more, please. Taking hands over your heart or to your heart center in Anjali Mudra. I honor that place in you where the universe dwells. I honor that place in you where there is love, light, peace, and joy. For when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one, we are connected. From my heart to yours, in service. Thanks for your presence. It's always a gift. Namaste.